greatest show on earth.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Con Culture Convo. Once again, Chris is doing Christmas stuff. This is actually very close to Christmas time, so he has to do, unfortunately, some holiday family Christmas stuff, and he tried everything he could to get on because he absolutely loves our guest, which I also love our guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself. We do call you Sushi, but your real name is Sakeisha. What is your full name?
I'm proud of you. He said it right, you guys. Oh my gosh.
I can't even spell it either. It's Sukesha. Yes, you did it.
Yeah. I'm so proud of you. Wow, that's very hard for people to do.
Yes.
It's Sukesha Elizabeth Ray. It's a really
Elizabeth. That's so fucking white.
It's so white.
It's so hilarious. They're like,
it's very Wanda.
Oh my god, dude! I'm gonna have to definitely make like.
Yeah.
Because you have an Indian dad and a white mom.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, that's great. The genes work. Okay. All right. So, so your name is Sukesha Ray. If anybody who doesn't know her, she's an artist, and musician in the lovely Comic-Con Anime Con world. I guarantee you guys have seen her out at a show. If you haven't, next time, introduce yourself. Say hi. She always loves new folks.
Yes, I do.
But yeah, go ahead and give us a little background about you and yourself and how you got into the industry and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. I was just like a little anime nerd back in the day. I mean, like my dad bought me Sonic Adventure 2 Dreamcast version. Y'all know the Dreamcast. I mean, it's one of the best platforms. Sorry, we love it.
Are you even old enough for Dreamcast? You're young.
I hate you. I really, you know what? Guys, we hate him. So... I'm
like 10 years older than this young lady. So
hey, Sonic Adventure 2 was one of the best games.
100%. But I bought it when it first came out. You probably bought like the 10-year anniversary edition.
No, I didn't. I never got it. My dad got it. So I played the shit out of it, and then I just started drawing, and I think since then... No, I've always drawn, but like I just could never put down a pencil, and singing, it was the same. That just sort of it developed. I was actually going to be a doctor before I wanted to do this. I studied
Indian alert. Oh my god. That's the most Indian thing ever.
Indian.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%. You're going into healthcare, more than likely. I mean, it's just...
my dad was like yelling at me the other day. He's like, why didn't you become a surgeon? And I'm like, Dad, I don't want to do that shit. And he's like, he threatens me when I'm being naughty. And he's like, I'm going to put your application into med school. Dad.
Oh, God. He would love that, though. He would love that.
Oh,
if you, just letting you guys know, I'm gonna look at you in the crowd right here. If you ever go up to Sukesha and her lovely father is with her, he will know it is this old Indian dude, and he's sitting in the back of the booth and he's judging. He is judging every move by every single person. Yeah. Don't take it personally. He will judge you. He will judges me. So as I walked up, he was like this white devil. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's an experience. You almost have to just to watch him stare at me and like be angry at me. It's really funny. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, but don't take it personal. He will judge you. So
yes.
So keep going on after your Sonic adventures. How did you get into the art, actual like kind of turning into some type of a profession, and how did that all happen?
Yeah, that's a good question. My first show was Otakon, but I went as an attendee in Maryland because we lived up in PA. So I went there and I was like, hey, like I went there and I had so much fun. I was obsessed with the cosplayers, but I looked at the artist alley. I was like, wait a second, like my art's like pretty good. Like it looks kind of just like these people's, if not like, I think it's really, really good. I think I can do this. So I applied for this tiny ass, and we'll get into that. Wait, can I swear on this?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. We fucking cuss a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, when we have to post this for our podcast, we put, is this for children viewers? And we put no. So we can do whatever you want.
Okay. I'll tone it. Like I'll just watch that.
No, you can do whatever you want. Be all natural. We don't give a fuck here at the Con Culture Convo. We are authentic. We don't lie to our lovely fellow attendees, our vendors, everything. We're authentic. So, we want you guys to be the same. So
true. You guys are not getting lies out of me today. So literally I was like at Otakon and I was like, wait, my shit's just like kind of like this. I could probably apply. And I applied for this like janky small ass show in ZankaiCon in like PA. I think it's like big now. I think they're doing better. But it was very small at the time.
How long ago is this?
What's that?
How long ago is this?
Oh, many years ago. Oh my god. And I'm sure they've grown since. So Zenkai Con, whatever you're doing, I've heard good things about it now. But when they were starting out, I applied. It was like a hotel show, and I just drove to it. And then I ended up doing pretty well. Like I made $700 that weekend as an 18-year-old, and I was like, wow,
I'm rich. Yeah.
I think people like my art. So it was a cool experience. Shout out to Zenkai Con. I think they've grown a lot since then. So yeah, but it was kind of cool. So then that kind of cascaded, and then I weirdly moved to Miami, and then the music industry, like, people pulled me in. It was very bizarre through my art. So
How did that happen? Because that is really random. You don't just
it,
set up at a booth at a show and all of a sudden like, hey, you look like hot. Are you a singer as well? Like, how does that happen? Like,
no, yeah. So it is such a weird question. So I'm just like really connected with a lot of like people in Miami. So like I had this producer Johnny, who's a friend of mine, but just you meet so many people when you just go to Miami. Like, people don't understand. No, seriously. I swear on God, he's just one of my friends, and he was like, "Just come to live tonight," and that's a club. And I met someone from Universal there, and we ended up falling out for reasons, but he kind of changed me, and then that started my process. And now I'm with I was with Warner, and now I'm with Sony. So yeah, it's a cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So
because you do have one song that went pretty decent on Spotify, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
It's up to a couple 100,000 views,
Oh my gosh, take me there.
right? It's
Get
like
almost
two.
five.
Is
No,
it half a mil?
yeah, Take Me There's going on 500,000, and then
What?
my Fire is going on 400K. So
Sheesh.
it's
Yes. Okay. So
exciting.
then I'm gonna do a sidetrack, even though I'm what didn't have planned to do on my itinerary of questions. But I'm gonna bounce around for this one for you guys, lovely, because I know
Okay.
you're probably thinking about there out in the con culture convo land. Um, okay, if you could make it, you can make the same amount of money. Okay, so that's take that out of it. Would
Okay.
you rather be an insanely famous artist, or would you rather be a famous musician artist?
I
Now, mind
fucking
you, the money would be the same. It would be exactly the same. So don't let that, you'd be the same famous, you'd be the same everything, but would you rather have it be for being an artist or a musician?
that's not fair to me. That's literally not even fair.
That's a good question though.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess I haven't really. I don't know yet with my music. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I've reached like a really cool place with my work, and music still has yet to grow. Because it's not something I put it very highly, but I haven't really grown as much as I want to with my music. Because my producer's in Belgium, so it's kind of hard. So I don't know if I can answer that, because like I don't know, because I don't know from experience yet. Like, I really want to tour for my music. I just need more songs. And my producer got really sick this year, and he just had a lot of stuff go on, so we had to delay a lot of stuff. But I can't answer. I literally can't give you an answer. I don't know.
Man,
Damn.
look, you had like a final in your fucking high school senior
Yeah.
year. All it was two questions, and you still failed. All you had to do was pick A or
Yeah,
B.
I
That was it. A
know.
or B. A or B.
Yeah, no, I don't even know. I'm sorry. I mean, I love where I am with my art, and it lets me travel the world, but like I just feel like I don't know,
So
music,
with
they
music,
all
yeah, yeah.
the whole music, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to like just make more. My producer's just slow on it.
So what you're telling me is you prefer to just be 50-50.
Yeah, I
All
know
right.
it's not fair though.
Boring. No,
I'm so
okay.
boring. Yep.
Okay. So you said your first show was Zenkai Con? Was that what it's called? Right? I know it's one in PA. I know it's an anime show for sure.
Yeah, it was like a hotel show. I don't know if they've moved to convention centers, but no, they were so sweet. It was
Yeah.
really wasn't even that big, but I was like, damn,
Okay.
$700. That's crazy. I think
I
people like,
know. Like everybody has that one show where they kind of like realize that they're like,
yeah,
oh, I may be able to actually do this for a living.
yeah, yeah.
Like, and what if you had like for me it was WonderCon in like
Oh,
2012 because like I said I'm a boomer.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I think I want to say it was WonderCon 2012 when I helped out one of my clients, and it turned into like it just adapted so much. I know you said
yeah.
that was your first show where you're like, oh my god, I made all this money for being 18, but like, what was that kind of time frame later in which you had that first like, oh my god, show where like you when you came home, you were like, oh my god, like, what was that first show that happened where you're like, yeah, I'm doing this full time, like I'm not
I know exactly the show. I love when
okay,
people ask me this. It was actually Otakon when I was in
okay,
Otakon. Fuck. And it was when I started getting commissions. Like I started accepting them, and
yes,
then I was for the quality of my work, we're talking pieces I would do for like 10 to 20 bucks. And I remember like 200
Oh,
people ordering commissions from me. And
oh
I looked
God.
at my dad and I was like, "Oh shit. This is I mean, this is really cool, but oh man, this is a lot of
$10.
money, but it's a lot of work." So I was like, I mean, I did do very well. Like I pretty much, I think I would say I would, and it was a long time ago too. And Otacon's a big show, so I mean, I
Yeah.
would say I did like Rolly money. They say Rolex money. I'm not
Okay.
gonna give numbers, but I was like, oh my god! And I was really young. I was like, oh, people like my shit. It was kind of a cool feeling. So
I mean, you
yeah,
must be young if you're doing commissions for like 10, $20 because
I was
I think
young.
you're like 20x that now, so that's pretty
No, I
good.
was very young. I really undersold myself for my worth, but no, people
And
fuck.
you still do, Sukesha. Looking at you. You need to wait. All you commission people who get for are going to hate me because I'm the one that's forcing her to raise her prices.
Mhm. They really are. Yep. No,
Well, if
man.
you ever have it, like, obviously, like I always tell her, and I tell everybody on here that the market dictates prices.
Yeah, very
You
true.
don't, I don't, no one does. But like when you have so many like you do, it's always good to like say, hey, also need some like time for me because your
Yeah.
art will be better if I don't have to do 30 other ones before I get to yours. If I don't
Yeah,
have to do 5, but I charge you an extra $150, you'll be happier with your stuff. I promise you.
exactly. Yeah.
And so I think that that's obviously an important thing that a lot of people can learn. Artists that undervalue their commissions because they think
Yeah.
that, well, because just because you wouldn't pay for something doesn't mean that somebody else wouldn't.
No,
Like
seriously.
that. And like I
Right.
said, I always say this, and everybody always gives me shit for it, but the market decides, the market decides, the market decides.
It's true.
And
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like that's every business there is. The market decides pricing. You know,
Hmm. Can't
and
agree more.
so there's
Yeah.
a lot of people that charge $10 for prints that could charge more, and there's people that charge $40 for prints, and they have an
Yeah.
8x10 and they're $30 each, and I'm like, oh, okay, good for you. And I see them selling left and right, so good on
Yeah.
them. Because the market likes that product at that price. There you go.
Yeah.
Boom.
100%.
You
Yeah.
know. So let me shift. Now we're on to like the positive of the con world. What
Yeah.
was your, you had that Otakon experience as like your first ever, like, oh, okay, this is cool. What
Hmm.
was your best ever show where like when you came home Sunday night, Monday, whatever, you're like, oh my God, I'm a baller. Like that Rolex that I was looking at, I actually can buy now. Like what show is that?
MegaCon. It was 2 years ago. I think Rich put me like right in the front when people just came in, and it was impossible not to see me. Big booth, huge corner. My God. It was like a huge corner booth just to myself, and you could not miss me. That's the thing. And yeah, I just had people all over. I needed like 4 people to man the booth with me. It was crazy. There were people that were just like, they were getting one person, like just one person would get like 5 commissions, 6 commissions, and my prices were pretty beefy. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like, and these are my fans that I've like built up because I'm a Floridian, so they seek me, which is really cool.
Yep.
But man, that was a good show. So I was like, oh my God, this is nuts, man. I can't even handle this right now. So
Okay.
yeah. So
And that was what, 2023
two.
or 2022?
It was one of them. Yeah, it was one or
Yeah.
two. I can't
Okay.
remember. One of
Yeah. I
those
want to
days.
say 2022 was the epic year.
Yeah.
I want to say that was the year like where it was that and back to back weekends of MomoCon and like
Yeah.
that shit was insane. I think I made literally like
Yeah.
when I was working before I got into the con industry, I was a trained behavioral therapist, which a lot of people
Oh,
don't
oh my
know
goodness.
that
I
about
would
me.
have never known. Seriously.
Yeah. So I was a behavioral therapist, and I think remember making as much as I did in like almost a year that I did in MegaCon, MomoCon, and then Motor City back to back to back weekends.
Holy moly.
Like it was to say when I was like, oh my God, I made the right choice. Like this is stupid.
Yeah.
And then
I guess.
last year I didn't make shit at any of them. So no, MomoCon was crazy this year. It was so different, and I'm glad that they're moving it and kind of revamping everything because I was
Yeah.
stuck in like this weird little corner with like a lot of dead ends and stuff. And Rich has changed it.
Yeah.
Rich has changed the show for it's definitely improved, so
Hmm.
I think it'll bounce right back.
Yeah.
But this will suck because this will be my first MegaCon in like 10 years that I'm not a local.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah,
That's weird.
I don't live in Florida anymore. I'm a South Carolina boy now. Woo!
Oh
So
boy. Whoa.
I'm a good old country boy, as you can tell by my outfit.
You know what? You're repping them. You're doing great.
Yeah, I stick out here like a sore thumb.
Nope.
Um, yeah,
Represent.
it's pretty funny though when I'm here and it's like I'll be going to like Aldi or whatever to go grocery shopping, and I'll have like
Hmm.
a Hawaiian shirt like I'm wearing now, and
Ah,
then a short shorts I barely like that go like 5 inches above my knee, and then flip flops.
yeah,
And it's
it's
like 60 degrees outside, but I'm like, I don't care, it's whatever. And they're like, I'll get so many people looking at me. They're walking in like their flannels and like, you
yeah,
know, baggy jeans and shit. And I'm just like, and boots and shit. And I'm just like,
right.
they're like,
So
oh, where are you from? And I'm like, I live here. And they're like, do you though?
do you? You give
I'm
some
sure.
spice to the area.
I assume you probably felt that vibe when you went to Miami, because that is you can't pick much more change than
No.
because where were you in Pennsylvania? You weren't even in like Philly or anything. You were in like
Oh,
you were in
bum
the
fuck.
rural area, right? Because
No,
rural
bum fuck
Pennsylvania is crazy. That's
mechanics.
just wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
one of those places in the country where you're just like, huh, this is what they see in all those movies. Got it.
Yes,
Yeah.
literally yes. They don't think like they were like really. My mom would get so offended because they didn't believe that she could marry an Indian man and like have me as a kid. Like they were all like, "Oh, when did you adopt your kid?" Like they didn't actually believe I could be her kid. And my mom used to be so. The minds are a little bit, more closed.
They're a
Maybe it's changed now.
little smaller.
I think just like I really do think it's like a little bit closed off, like a lot of country areas are because it's
Yeah.
like the
You're a product of your environment.
right
If you have
racial.
everybody in town telling you a certain thing, you're going to believe it
Yeah,
eventually. You know,
right, exactly. So
and
I
there's
mean,
no diversity, there's
yeah,
no inclusivity. It's a lot of just like, this is how we are. If you don't like it,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
well, you know.
definitely, yeah. So I
So,
mean, yeah,
so
it
is
was
that
fun.
weird then moving from rural bumfuck Pennsylvania to fucking Miami?
No, it felt right at home. Like I felt like I've always been a Miamian because I
Yeah,
don't know. I've just never. You ever just move somewhere and you're like, this is it? Like yeah, I love Florida.
yeah. That was like the first time we met. I felt like that. So
Oh my
I'm like, this is it.
god!
This is it. Ash should
Ow.
have married me the first time we met, guys. Just on flat out letting you know. She was
Well,
taken at
yes,
the
you do.
time, but I'm working on
Yeah,
it. It's like 9 years later, but I'm working on it.
you
So,
gotta get those cows and goats for Subir. I mean, my dad
y-
play,
yep. Can I
aerial
get?
working.
Well,
Yeah.
but can I get them like already like beefed and stuff, or do they have to get the full cow?
You just need like the live cow because my dad wants to milk it and get the cream
Got it.
and yeah, it
So
has
he
to
doesn't
be
want
live.
the meat
That's
necessarily. He wants the actual other produce related to it.
oh yeah, he's a
Okay.
milky guy. So
Yeah. So am I. Look at me. Fucking the whitest milk motherfucker out there, but that's all right.
own it, slay. Oh my god.
All right, so we're gonna take a flip flop. So obviously, in Miami, you've been cons for a decade. You've had to have some bombs out there. What has been your worst show you've ever done? Now, it could be like an experience. It could be financially. It could be
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm trying to
Um,
think of like a really, really bad one, but like we all have those like new shows that just like aren't really well
well,
promoted and it's not
yeah, oh, of course, and that's really rough.
yeah.
They like I'll tell you mine since I don't think you listen to the podcast.
Hey. Well, I didn't know how
Um,
to act it and now I do.
now you do. So
Now I do.
everybody
Yeah.
at Con Culture Convo on
Yay!
all platforms, including any podcast where you're from.
Yes, all the way.
And so mine was the first show I ever lost money on.
Mhm.
It's a show called Fandemic, and it's brought to you by like basically the old Wizard World people back in the day when they
Oh,
had kind of broken off and had done stuff, and it was co-owned by Norman Reedus. So they had a huge guest list, and it was in Sacramento. And we had done SAC Anime, had done well up there, and so it was like, oh my god, they're going to bring like the other side of the kind of city and area, not
oh,
just anime people. They're going to bring like the pop culture and comic and other people. So me and
mhm.
Chris did the show, and
Oh,
me and
Chris.
him both paid lots of extra money to be at the front. It was me and him right at the very front. And I remember on Friday we were getting ready, and they're like, "We're gonna open the doors, guys, to all the VIPs." And they got crowd, like work, whatever. They opened it up, and I kid you not, it was like one person walked in, and then another person walked in. And I was like, "Yeah." So I peek out of the booth, and I'm waiting, looking. I look down the aisleway. I look down the aisleway, and I go, and there was 3 people standing outside that weren't VIP, so they waited. They just let
Oh
them
my
in. There's
God.
5 people at doors opening. And it got to a point where like all the celebrities were just like leaving early, and I mean they had a stacked guest list. Like if you look at stuff, like it was big
Yeah.
for even now. So like it was
Wow.
crazy. They just didn't advertise correctly or get people in the
Oh.
door or whatever it may be. But there must have been maybe 500 people the whole weekend for a 3-day
Oh
show.
my God.
And like I didn't even make booth, much less hotel, and
Oof.
drive. Like I drove from Sacramento. Chris came from fucking Paducah, Kentucky,
Dang,
all the way to
that's
Sacramento
so
driving.
far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so
It was
sorry.
so bad. But luckily, Joe, who's now with Left Field Media, he ended up taking care of us and got us into like Awesome Con
That's good.
and
Yeah.
Portland, a couple other shows where we're like, we really
Oh.
wanted to do a good shot, and he hooked us up. So like he generally felt bad because he sold us on the show, and it
Hmm.
sucked. But he made up for it. So full credit
Yeah.
to you. So now that you've had some time to think, what has been Sukesha's worst ever show experience?
Honestly, mine isn't gonna be financial because I mean we've all had those, and I definitely have had some shitty
Mm-hmm.
ones. But no, my worst ever is actually gonna be this year's New York Comic Con, and I told you about it. I told you, and I
Yeah.
told Ariel, and I told a lot of people. But I basically had people like come at me and scream at me in my fucking face, and attack my mother, and call her an assaulter, and call me an OnlyFans slut. Wow.
Which, if
And
you
then they
guys are
were,
wondering, no, she doesn't have an OnlyFans, and yes, we would
no,
like her to have one.
thank you. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
just for drawing related,
Yeah.
obviously. Like
I mean, I have a Patreon and sometimes I post bikini pics, but I really do. Just for the Patreon. But I
I
do know.
was kidding, but okay, hey, you
No,
do
I
you,
actually
boo,
do.
get it. So do I. It's fine. I do bikini pics
Oh
too. So
my God. All right, I'll take the
yeah,
link.
we're the
No.
same. Is I'll slide into your DMs. Don't worry. I'll send you some bikini pics. So
Yay.
yeah, we'll trade these. It's called equality, you guys. Okay, equal rights for all.
Oh, yes. No, so good. No, I was basically like yelled at like crazy level by like it
Another
was
vendor, right?
by a vendor.
It
Yeah.
wasn't even some random attendee. It was some vendor you were next to that was just being a
But
bitch.
I've never seen this person
Uh,
before in my life. They were from the UK and they were like had this janky British accent and she was like, "Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You're fucking and what did she say to me? She was like, "Your mother's a fucking awful mother. You're a fucking awful daughter. Shut the fuck up." And I was like, I took the mic off. Like I was just using one of those microphones and I did take it off. So
so
I was
she
like,
was upset because you're being too loud because you had your voice issues because of your singing and you needed to
yeah,
do voice rest, but you also had your biggest show of the year. And so
right.
you got one of the little mics that you put
Mhm.
on to elevate your voice a little bit.
Yeah, but like if there's an issue, just come to me first before like reporting it to Mike Negan. Like don't go to
Yeah.
the head. Just tell me
Yeah.
first. Like and I'll take it
Who
off.
we're friends with. You're like, smart. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Right, right. Like he knows me. Good try. Like and I
Yeah.
remember she telling my mom and both of them were like, "We're gonna report you to the police. You made us feel so small the whole weekend." I'm like, "We didn't do anything. We were literally just selling my art. We don't care about what you're doing."
No.
Yo,
I
I
mean
will go.
that's just so shitty for someone to go
Yeah,
through. But like
yeah,
especially when you did nothing wrong,
yeah.
and a lot of people, I'm sure they had a lot of cost being there,
Mm-hmm.
and they thought it was going to be something better than it wasn't. They saw you making way more money than her,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Probably.
saw that like, oh, the reason why they're making more money is because of the
The
somehow
aesthetic and
the
stuff.
sound of this person's voice being too loud. Like they somehow associate like you're taking money from me and giving it to you because of
Yeah.
this voice box thing you're using. Like
Yeah.
it's a loser mentality, and I wish people would have that because like this
Yeah.
year has sucked for many people, including myself. But I haven't blamed any other vendor in any other shape or form.
Exactly.
And so like you have to look within and improve yourself and make yourself a
Right.
better situation. Because like,
Right.
if
Right.
not, you're not going to get anywhere. No one else is going to help you. No one's coming to your rescue. We'll
Yeah.
give you as many tips and tricks and everything as you want on this conversation. On the Con Culture Convo, we got your back. But like, at the
Yeah.
same time, if you don't do anything, nothing's ever going to change.
No, 100%. I never
So
blame someone. I remember she came up to me and she was like, "You're taking all my customers away." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. You're doing that. You're being really scary right now." My number one rule is if the client is not directly looking at me or my stuff, if they're in their own vibe, like even if it's right next to me, I'm not going to talk to them unless they show interest in my shit. I'll be like, "Hi, welcome. Look around if you want." I would
so
never do that. Are you
a
kidding?
good little rule of thumb for
Yeah.
all of you con people,
Mhm.
no matter what you're selling, is irrelevant. Okay.
Yeah.
When you look out at your booth, your artist alley table, vendor table, whatever it may be, you
Mhm.
have the distance in between your end of your table or booth and
Yeah.
halfway to that aisle is your property. Like that is your person that you can talk to, you can pitch
Yeah.
to, whatever.
I
The
love it. Yeah.
second they leave that area, they're not
Oh,
yours. Do
not
not
your.
catcall. Do not hound at these people. Don't yell at them.
Yes.
Don't yell
Yeah.
across the aisle at people. You're a fucking piece of shit if you do that. I'm sorry. I'm
Yes.
tired of people doing that.
Agreed.
And it's so annoying. It does not
Yeah.
make you more sales. It makes you less likely to make a sale to somebody because they don't want to be,
Yeah.
they don't want to look at you. They don't want to talk to you because you yelled at them from 35 feet away.
Yeah.
So you get
Yes.
half the row, split in half. And if they're looking at your way, if they're looking the other direction, don't be yelling at them. Don't be saying something to them. Like if you have to raise your voice, typically more than like what we're talking now, that means
Yeah.
you're too far and they're not looking at your shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You shouldn't
Like
have to call them.
it's a
Exactly.
joke. And I guarantee you weren't doing that because I remember walking over to your booth and like seeing the situation and I was like, what is
Yeah.
she even talking about? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what this lady's going off on. And just for full disclosure,
Mm.
anybody who's friends with you or I or around the community, this is not Charlotte Mulligan from James T. Mulligan's wife. I know she's like the only other English person
Oh my
here.
god!
It is not her, so do not get confused. This is someone else. So
Stop!
she's
No.
an English lady that would never do anything like that. She's an absolute doll. So definitely don't get
Literally
that
never
confused.
met her before.
She's a
She sounds
sweetheart. So yeah, there's no way that that would be her. So don't get confused.
that's really funny. No, they were just two random British people. So if you see like a short blonde hair, little gnomey looking British girl, and then a skinny, lanky, looks like he might be Israeli, I don't know, but like a dark haired skinned, like he looks kind of freaky though, but they look like they're like not happy with themselves or something. So God
Well,
bless them. Hope
probably
they
not.
find happiness. So
Yeah, and they need to do themselves and work on themselves and get their game up. And we hope to see
they
them
do.
succeed in their own way. But it ain't going to be at your expense.
Yeah.
Sorry, like it's just
I'm
not.
sorry. Yeah, yeah. That was
Um,
so.
so
Yeah.
moving on to 2025,
Hmm.
what are your predictions compared to 2023 this year, 2024? How do you feel 2025 is going to roll out for you?
That's a good question. I want to do more overseas things. I really love experiencing different cultures.
Okay.
Online, I want more online stuff. I want to grow my social media more. So, I mean, I think I'm still gonna do the shows, but I think just cut maybe from like fucking 45 to like maybe 30 just to spend more
Hmm.
time on me. Also, the music. I have to focus more on music. So, I think expect more in 2025. You guys just like more music focused stuff. And more whatnot streams. I want to build that. So more social media s because I think this year I pushed myself a little too hard, and Tim knows that I
Yeah.
overwhelmed myself with just
And
shows, and we don't
and
talk about how
and
important mental health and physical health.
no, and mental,
Right.
physical health. I mean, you and I both
Yeah.
have been probably sicker in the last year and a half than we have in our lives.
Absolutely.
And we both had a
Absolutely.
lovely dental awesomeness. We both had a huge, which I'm now going to post on right
Stop
here.
it.
So you can
Please
see right
post.
there.
Oh my
All
goodness.
right. And there we are. So how's that? You remember those days?
uh, Stop.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
fucking
we both
hated it.
looked amazing. So that was on
Fabulous.
my 37th birthday, though. I was like on my actual
Oh,
birthday that all this should happen. It was terrible. Oh my God.
no, it's so
Oh,
bad. Yeah.
if you guys need dental health, all that stuff, healthcare, it's due this week. So you need to go do that. Okay. Little
No, but
shout out to the
actually,
healthcare industry. Go do it because you need to be
yes.
covered because that could be catastrophic. I didn't have, I'll put it this way.
Yeah.
I had no dental, no healthcare. It was overlapped by like a month. And I was like, I'll just get to it. And then I had all this stuff happen to me. I had a root canal get infected from a
Mm-hmm.
previous
Same.
thing. I was actually eating
Yep.
hard candy and it jolted down and like just created this huge infection in a huge circle underneath my tooth. I had to have everything removed.
That's
They had to go
crazy.
all the way down, clean out, see it like 2 different specialists. It was terrible. It cost
You
me
were
almost nine.
so
It almost
sick.
cost me almost 9 grand.
You were so sick. That's horrible.
9 fucking grand. And then when I got better with that, I got influenza B literally because of that right after, and I was sick for 3 weeks and missed 2 shows. So I'm telling you guys, take your healthcare serious and
Mm-hmm.
go on the
Mm-hmm.
healthcare.net and go
Yeah.
pick out your plans and do all that. It's due this week. So they just did an extension, but it's due this
100%.
week. Go do it. Get your dental, get your healthcare, do it up because you guys can't
Mhm.
miss. When you miss money, oh God, talk about FOMO. We're all
Yeah.
guilty of it in this industry. But
Yeah.
like when you actually really miss it, like you miss really good shows for reels, oh, it's terrible. All because of
It's
a COVID
horrible. It
or
feels
some other illness. No
bad.
way.
Yeah, I
Because
missed
you,
MomoCon the last day because
oh,
of
you were
a
so sick.
stomach. Oh yeah, stomach virus.
Oh,
Stop it. Never
that was
again
so
with it.
gross. We were supposed to go on a date that night, and then she literally just fucking bailed on me, and then she
Oh
literally
my.
faked this whole illness just because of it.
Whoa,
You know,
guys. This is the first time
just
I.
kidding.
Whoa.
I'm
I
just
was
kidding.
like,
I'm totally kidding you. We did not, but
we
women will
can
go
go
to
on an
long
outing.
lakes, huh?
We can go on an outing. No worries. When I'm not
Oh,
like
an outing. Jeez, now she's
when
already
I'm
friend
not
zoning me,
throwing
guys.
up. Okay.
No, I don't want you throwing up. No, thank you. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
because if you're throwing up, I'm throwing up, and then you'll see me throwing up, then you throw up again, then we just keep going back and forth. Yeah, we'll both look
Yeah.
great the next
I'm
day because
okay.
we'll lose some weight, but other than that, it's going to be shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you're like, look at my 6 pack
that's one
abs
way
now. I
to
just
do it.
threw up 10 times last night.
Stop it. Oh my God.
Yes. So,
Really funny.
all right. So I'm going to ask you one last question. Okay, this
Mm-hmm.
is it. Then we're going to wrap it up.
Sure.
Um, what do you say to all the people who, and I've heard this before, you've heard
Mm-hmm.
it, it's not something new. What do you say to people who say you're only successful because of your looks and being
Oh
a female
wow.
and being a hot chick in the industry, quote unquote,
Mm.
that's why you're successful? What do you have to say to those people?
Oh wow. That is a very and yes, we have talked about this before. To be fair, it is what it is. Life is what it is, you know? At the same time, I think my work stands on its own. I mean, I get a lot of females and also just other kinds of people liking my work where I know it doesn't really influence that kind of stuff. And hey, you know what? We're all different. Everyone has their own path. And even if someone is getting something because of my looks, cool, whatever. I get to draw. I think it's a win-win for me. I don't, you know what I mean? As long as I fucking get to do what I love, like, who cares? Who really cares at the end of the day? Um,
Yep,
I
agreed.
think it's a touchy subject though, because a lot of people, I think a woman also, there was this really hot girl who approached me who had the same issue, and I was like, girl, just embrace it, like, and get better. Like, just be an amazing artist. Like, just be kind to people. My number one thing is be kind, you know? Be kind to people, treat people with respect, do good work, and then if they're buying your shit because of your titties, then whatever, man. You know,
Jeez.
if I can
It's
provide them
good.
happiness, whether it's
Thank
my titties or my art or my voice, all right, sounds good. I'm providing them happiness. But you know what? I do have really nice titties. But to be fair, I'm providing happiness. So that's my goal.
I've never looked. I have no clue. I'm a
Okay.
respectable man. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I couldn't even tell you what your eye color is. So,
Poop brown, like most Indians.
brown. Yes, yes, yes. There you go. That was a
Yeah.
safe guess. But
Poop brown.
yeah, no, I agree. And I think you're a lovely person. You're
Same
generous. You're
here.
kind. You're nice. And you're fantastic in interactions with people. So
Thank you.
anybody who says otherwise is fucking jealous. They're haters, and it is what it is. So,
Yeah. It is what it is. Just everyone's
yep,
different. Yeah. And
agree.
even
Yep,
if I do make people happy with my body, all right, at least I'm making them happy. So,
agree.
okay.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, on that note, we're going to wrap it up. Where can we all find you on the socials and websites and all that fun stuff?
Oh yeah, you can just Google Sukesha Ray, like my name. I'm sure Tim will link it, or you can just do Art by Sushi. Either or, you'll find me,
Okay,
like
cool,
across everything. Yeah.
awesome. Well, definitely. What's the first show you have going in 2025?
Oh, dude, I think I got Animate Rally, so it's
Okay,
a smaller show and rally, and then I know I'm
and
doing
I
Tim's later this.
yes, Anime Town
Yeah.
Greenville as a featured artist. What
Woohoo!
what? Scoochoo. Awesome. Perfect. Well, on that note, thank you everybody for joining our lovely interview with our lovely friend Sakeisha here. We love her, and we hope to have her on again, do some reviews and things later on going on into 2025. So thank you very much, everybody, and you have a lovely day. Join the convo.
Bye, guys.